A 5-minute call on behalf of the Green Party, Zini Sage.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I'm pleased to take a short call in the second reading on the Civil Defence Emergency Management Amendment Act 2016 Amendment Bill. Other speakers have commented that the cross-party discussions sort of served as a de facto select committee. That wouldn't be the Green Party's view. We have noted our appreciation for the Minister actually engaging in those cross-party discussions on 2 occasions, but it is actually the submissions from members of the public which always contribute to improving legislation, and we obviously haven't had the opportunity for those on this bill. But one of the reasons the Green Party has been prepared to support the urgency is that on the Principal Act, which we were discussing very recently, there were only 12 submissions to our Select Committee, and there was general support or acknowledgement of the appropriateness of the transition powers which the Principal Act provided for the controller and recovery managers in that transition period. So those powers and the safeguards around them, the fact that they must be exercised in the public interest, are carried over here as we understand it, and if they're not, we would be grateful for the Minister's explanation of why not in the committee stages. But as we understand it, the safeguards that apply in the Principal Act to the exercise of these powers, including this new power to direct that an assessment be done, also apply to that power. Mr Speaker, I think we've all focused on earthquakes, but my understanding is that the bill will also apply in terms of other events such as the big flooding that we had in Whanganui last year, and the ability there for the controller or constable or other person with those powers under the civil defence legislation to require an assessment of buildings there. If that is not the case, would welcome an explanation of that. And I think we'll just conclude by endorsing the comments made by my colleague Jan Logie about preparedness. Individuals have a responsibility to be prepared. This bill is valuable in ensuring that we, as a Parliament, do what we can to maximise the public safety and reduce the risk to individuals in buildings which have been affected by quakes. But individuals also have that responsibility to look after themselves, and recognising that authorities may not be able to assist them in the immediate aftermath of a disaster. But as a society, we also have to get more prepared by investing more in resilience. With more intense storm events, not just the natural hazards of earthquakes, we need to make our stormwater infrastructure more resilient. We need to look at how and where we build. We need to ensure that there are natural wetlands and other areas which can soak off that runoff. We need to look at the capacity of our stormwater systems, and we need to actually think much more clearly about natural hazards and how we retrofit some of our urban areas, perhaps councils buying properties that are subject to frequent flooding, so that there is less impact on individual households and communities after these events, and that we are planning both to prepare individually as households but also as communities. Thank you.